our guides, insider news, because we have the latest updates of all the property happenings in Singapore, and yeah, HDB guides. There's so many regulations, right? So do take a look at them if you are interested to know more. And these are some of our listings, and
Yes.
these are actually Thomas's listings.
Yes, it's for sale. If you want to buy these properties, please check out 99.co. Look through all the listings available for sale.
And I think not many people know that we have the best in-class tools. We have transaction data tools, property value tool. So, this is why we have all the knowledge that we can share with consumers or even media platforms. So if you see in the news, like Straits Times, CNA, business, what is that?
Business Times.
Business
Yeah,
Times.
yeah.
So these are the news outlets that are constantly reporting every month about all the stats and data that we have to provide, like, oh, what's happening this month? Did condo prices increase? Did transactions decrease? And things like that. This is the reason why they have all this data from us. Okay, so you must have a lot of questions, right? Because everybody's cases are different, So if you have very specific personalized questions, don't hesitate to just scan the QR code and book a free consultation with us. It's absolutely free. So yeah, I would say don't hesitate. You get free expert advice. Why not? Okay, so today's agenda.
Yes.
We will first be touching on the differences between new launch and resale condo, deciding between a new launch or resale, and sorry, technical difficulties.
Hello, hello. Can everybody hear me? Can?
Oh, okay, good.
Can hear, ah? Okay.
I think we had some comments that they couldn't hear us. Sorry? Yes. Yes, can everybody hear us? Okay, very good. Okay.
Okay, availability.
Yep, and also the condition and the features for new launches.
So
Everything is brand new for a new launch, right?
not just brand new, it comes with a 1-year DLP, defect liability period. Anything that breaks down in the house, not due to negligence, the developers would cover it. Fair wear and tear.
See, okay. Location is located in mostly emerging or less developed areas, unless it's an en bloc.
Yes, in fact, right, we're talking about this location aspect. I want, like, we're going to be talking about it later, the 10-2-2 theory. So it's true, not everywhere would have new launches, unlike resale. At any given point, people will be selling condos all the time.
Right.
Yeah, so you only can pick which areas to buy if
Okay.
it's a new launch, yeah.
And capital appreciation, I think this is the reason why people are also coming here to know more, right?
Yes.
Which property do I buy to give me the most capital appreciation?
Mm,
So I think for new launches, it is, there's an understanding that you have a higher potential for
yes.
capital appreciation if you buy it at early bird prices, especially.
Yes and no. Not all new launches are equal, and not all new launches will give you the profits that you want. So choosing the right property is very important. So a very simple way to analyze is this.
Mm.
Assuming you're thinking of buying a resale property, you want to understand how much profits you're giving to the previous owner in order for the owner to be willing to sell it to you.
Mm.
And you've got to understand that this resale property was once upon a time a brand new condo, right? So if you understand the characteristics of how and why this resale property is profitable, then you can use the same copy and paste method to find a new launch that has the same characteristic.
Right. Okay. So now resale, pricing wise, it is cheaper on a per square foot basis as compared to new launches.
Yes.
It is negotiable.
Yes, can negotiate. Yeah.
The valuation
Mm.
also matters. Tell us more about that.
Oh, so there are some, okay, I wouldn't say some. Most resale sellers would want to make a profit when they sell their property.
Mm.
And sometimes their asking price might be over the top. The banks might not meet, will not be able to match the valuation. So in this case, we end up in a scenario of COV, cash over valuation, which means the buyer need to fork out more cash, unable to take the loan required to buy the house, making it less affordable.
I see.
Yeah.
But it's immediate availability.
Yes. You buy today, 3 months down the road, completion, you get to move in.
Condition though,
Yes.
there is a need
Yes. So
to
condition
renovate.
condition is very interesting. So this point, especially if you're considering new launch and resale, you want to remember the number. At least 80,000 to 200,000, depending on how lavishly you want to renovate the home.
Mm.
And when it comes to resale property, there's a lot of underlying issues. Sometimes the water is leaking, the owners go and repaint, and they sell it to you, and you don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But it does come with larger layouts.
Yes. So with every good, there is a bad, right? So yes, you get more space. It could potentially be more unaffordable because of the valuation and all. But the trade-off is you get it immediately.
Location. Location is generally situated in more established areas with better transport links and amenities.
Yes, because the buyers call the shot. Like if you're buying a resale property, you don't like you don't even view the property. Yeah, so you can choose anywhere.
And capital appreciation, I think buyers kind of expect that the appreciation will not be as good as new launch because the lease is already decaying.
Yes. So over the time, resale properties, especially as it gets older, not all resale properties are unprofitable, but the probability of a new launch being profitable is higher.
The golden question, right?
Yes.
When should I sell my HDB if I want to upgrade to a condo?
Yes.
Tell us more about that.
Okay.
How?
So now I'm going to switch to the drawing the whiteboard. I'm going to explain a few simple concepts that you guys can remember. So, a few questions you want to ask yourself. Should I sell my HDB to upgrade to a condo? The first question you want to ask yourself is, when I sell my HDB, am I sitting on profits or not? Because there are a lot of HDB sellers, they are on negative sale. Negative sale means they use too much of their CPF to pay for the property. And when they sell the HDB, they need to pay the accrued interest. So the proceeds that come back is not enough to go back into the CPF amount. So these people actually need to top up cash in order for them to sell the HDB. So that's a negative sale. Okay. So if you are sitting on profits on your HDB, you want to understand this simple concept. Okay. This is called the 29% of intended purchase price. Okay. Oh, do you have a calculator? My phone is right there.
I do.
Okay, I mean the calculator. So, okay, so you see, assuming your HDB is worth $1 million, all right? And you have an outstanding loan of $750,000. And the CPF that you have used to purchase this HDB is $200,000. So when you sell this HDB, you want to take your selling price, which is $1 million, minus away your outstanding loan, which is 750, minus away the 200,000, you get back your cash proceeds. The pen doesn't work anymore. Cash proceeds of $50,000. Okay, and then your CPF would have $200,000, which means excluding whatever savings in your Milo tin underneath your bed, or whatever cash you have on you in the bank, just from this property alone, you would have $250,000. So a simple calculation would be to take $250,000 divided by 0.29. Your total purchase price is $862,000.
So does this mean that I can afford 862,000
That is
units?
absolutely correct. Yes. So based on you being able to get back 250,000, you will be able to afford 862,000.
So I should use the golden percentage of 29%
That is correct.
to find out how much I can afford.
Yes, this is a very basic preliminary way of understanding before you even do a loan assessment. Because these are simple calculation, right? How much your property is worth, outstanding loan, CPF use, you'll be able to get this amount. So coming back to the question, at 862,000, will you be able to buy a condo that is able to fit your needs? Is it big enough for your family to all stay in there? Or will you have a better quality of life staying in the condo versus the HDB? Yeah.
Okay.
So the answer is no, do not do it.
Okay.
We will not encourage anybody to do things that is not prudent. Most importantly, you want to be prudent and have the holding power.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So these are the few things you want to ask yourself. Are you sitting on profits? Will you be on negative sale? And with the proceeds that come back, are you able to buy a condo that is suitable for your needs and be prudent?
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks. Deciding between a new launch or resale condo. I think this is, why we're all here tonight, right? And the reason is, the moment you buy a property, you will incur an immediate deficit. Tell us more about that, Thomas.
Yes. So what people need to understand is, as a property buyer, whoever it is that convinced you to buy the property, it could be your uncle, auntie, your friends, or you attended a property course or property agent, anybody who give you the advice and you make a move based on that advice, you got to understand that you are in an immediate deficit. The moment you buy a property, you as the buyer, you are the biggest loser, so to speak. The moment you buy, you already lost a 4% stamp duty. And when you buy a resale condo, you might be buying a property that water leaking, the owner go and repaint the house and sell to you. So that's all the underlying issues and renovation costs. So as a buyer, whatever advice you take from anybody, when you buy the property, you are the only one bearing the consequence. So I think it's important to understand what's the difference between new launch and resale.
And I think this is what we have to think about, okay? Weighing your needs
Yes.
versus capital appreciation, right?
Yes.
Like number one, the question is, how are your finances going to look like at the end of both transactions over the course of 3 years?
Yes. Because a property would typically take about 3 years to construct, right?
Right.
So if you buy a property, a resale versus a new launch, yeah, you want to see how is your pot of gold going to look like.
True. And of course, what are you prioritizing? I think this is the most important, right?
Yes.
Because you need to prioritize, is it your needs that come first or capital gains?
Yes. And this is a very interesting point as well.
Right.
Because it's like chicken and egg, you know. People who have no choice, they have no choice but to give the profits to the resale sellers so that the resale sellers can move on to make more money. So there is actually a very limited window available for people to buy new launch. You
Right.
cannot be urgently needing a house to stay. You cannot be like, you have your circumstances doesn't allow, then you also can't do it.
So, when you buy a resale property, actually how much profits, right, are you going to give to the previous owner?
Yes. So however much profits you give to the resale owner diminishes your chance of being able to make another round of capital appreciation.
Right, right. Okay, so question of the day, right? So if we're talking about capital gains, what causes your property valuation to increase?
Yes. So primarily there are 3 things, but most people would assume there are more things, right? Like for example, an MRT coming up near to your house. People think that that will drive up the valuation of your property, but that is not entirely accurate.
Yeah.
Because the banks, they look at data numbers. So how it works is very simple. If you as the owner of the property cannot afford to pay your mortgage, the bank will repossess it and they will sell it. They call it a bank mortgagee sale. So in order for the banks to determine the amount of risk that they're going to take by lending you the money, they need to know, number one, how frequently is this property being transacted? They don't want to end up in a situation where they repossess and they're not able to sell for the next 6 months to a year, right? So that's point number one. Number two, last transaction, everybody knows that. Number three, of course, the amount of renovations that you've done to the place.
Yeah.
Especially true for landed properties because the land itself is worth a base amount, which the bank can easily determine. But some landed properties are like fully built up. They really tear down the whole structure. So lastly, and of course, we got things like stack premium, floor premium, properties in prime areas like District 1, like Marine, the sale at Marina, you got bay facing versus highway facing. So these are the little things that would also make a difference as well.
Okay, that's all very true. But I mean, there are all these factors that you also need to consider, like your location. Is it near the MRT, right? Is it near the primary school, near amenities around? So I think these are definitely factors, but it contributes to it.
Yes, it contributes, but it doesn't really, the bank doesn't see it. Yes.
Okay. Okay. And how do you evaluate which resale condo you should consider to buy if you have immediate needs, right?
Yes.
How do you compare resale condos?
Okay. So we're gonna look at
Project A.
a project A. So for the benefit or for the non-benefit of the people who might own a unit in this condo, we're not gonna talk good or bad about this condo. So we're just gonna say project A, project B. We're gonna show you numbers for you to understand the concept, but we're not gonna mention which condo we're talking about. Okay? So, well, very small.
Okay. Yeah, try to look at the green. I mean, it's very green, right?
Yes.
You can tell.
So, okay. So remember this. Remember, as a buyer, the moment you buy, you are in an immediate deficit, right? So whenever you get advice from anybody, you want to see this page right here. If you don't see this page, you got to ask for it. When this page is being opened up to you, you want to focus your eyes on a few different lines. Number one is the one where you see sold 2 times. So you know that these are the second owners or the first or the third owners. The second line you want to look at is the line where you can see the P&L, the green color. Let's put our attention on stack 20, floor 8, 0820. You can see that the profit is $155,750. Okay, so the profit and loss is what you also want to see. Yeah, and you want to see whether or not it's the first or second owner. Okay, so this one we are comparing
Versus project B.
project B.
Yeah.
Is okay. So now we talk about the safe exposure to risk, because when you buy a resale property, there are inherent risk. How do you mitigate that? Now we put our attention to 0824. Okay, floor 8, stack 24. Now, if you can see very closely, you can see that 0824, 0724, 0624, 0524. You can see that most of these units in stack 24 have been transacted before. A lot of them are second or even third owners, right? So this makes it a safer bet, because you don't want to be holding on to a same unit as someone else, but you're paying 300,000 more than the previous owners.
So means if I'm buying a resale unit from this particular stack,
Yes.
it helps to know that my neighbor has also bought it like recently,
Absolutely right.
at a price that is similar to what I'm
Yes.
buying.
So I'm going to draw very simple, right? Just for you to understand this concept. So imagine this is the property, right? And we got level 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, if all these people are already second owner, okay, assuming the first owners, they all bought at 1 million, okay? Because when you buy 11, 1 million, all right? So when they sell to the second owner, every transaction that takes place, one thing would happen: profit margin. Everybody would want to make profit, right?
Yeah.
So the second owners would very likely have bought the property at assuming 1.2 million, 1.3 million, right? So if you want to reduce your exposure to risk, you don't want to be the first person to become the second owner. You want to make sure within the stack, most people are already second or third owner. Then actually it's quite safe to buy.
I see.
Yes, it's very primary school drawing, but as long as you get the point, you don't get the point, you can leave a comment.
Maybe I can reiterate the point again.
Yes.
Right. So basically, if I want to buy a resale condo,
Yes.
it will benefit me to know,
Yes.
what the other units are transacting at, or
Yes.
whether it has been transacted before.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So that I know that I'm not the first person to come into this resale condo
Yes.
and buy at a more expensive price.
Correct. So it's a person who buy at 1 million will hope to sell at 1.3 or 1.2.
Yeah.
If you buy at 1.3, you hope to sell at
2.
okay, you hope to sell at 2. But whether or not you'll be okay.
1.7.
Let's you're so greedy, man. 1.5 lah. This person only make 300,000 as the first owner, you second owner, you
Okay.
quite fair, right?
Sure.
So what are your chances of you being able to achieve 1.5 million? Is when all your neighbors also want to hit 1.5. Because if all your neighbors who bought at 1, to be honest, whether or not the market moves up or down, that we can't control.
Yeah.
They are happy to let go at 1.3 because they are already in the green.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't want to be this person. You want to be this person.
Okay. So I hope you guys understand this
It's
concept.
primary school drawing.
So resale project A is one of our, example of a project that is doing quite well, right? We see a lot of green.
Yes.
So let's look at resale project B.
Oh.
So we see more red here.
Yes. So remember just now I said, right? You always focus your attention and you ask for this screen, right? How many times it has been sold in the P&L? So just now you see a sea of green. Now you see a sea of red. So, I mean, like I said, for the benefit or not benefit of the people who might be holding on to a unit in this condos, we're not going to mention the names. If you need more information, you can let us know. But this condo was once upon a time a brand new condo as well. Clearly, it didn't perform. So it doesn't necessarily mean that new launches are always profitable, and this reiterates that.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm.
Okay. Now we'll look at upcoming new launch
Yes.
versus a resale project C. Okay, so how are we actually comparing this to?
Yes.
This upcoming new launch is actually a real example that
Yes.
we have in mind, but we're not going to reveal as well.
We're not going to say the name.
Yes, because this resale project C
Yes.
is it matches a lot of the characteristics, right, of this upcoming new launch.
Yes.
So it would be a good example
Yes.
to see if this new upcoming new launch would be successful or not.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there is actually a method. Okay. Now I want you to remember. How do I? Okay. Whiteboard? No, but we want to see this first, right?
Yes.
Okay. There is actually a method for you to get one thing. Remember this. Nobody can guarantee that whichever development that you're going to buy is going to be profitable. If anybody can guarantee that, you should run away. Okay, we can only give you data statistics to give you the highest probability of whether or not it's going to be successful.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we are looking at the stack analysis for resale project C,
Yes.
which might be a good indicator for the new launch that we have in mind.
Exactly, right? So this stack analysis for resale project C has very, very, very similar characteristics to that upcoming new launch, but we're not going to say the name because we don't want to be seen as selling anything today. Yeah, so look at the sea of green. Okay, so this is the thing that you need to focus on, and you can see a lot of them are like still first owners.
Yeah, so this is a good it's evidence to show that it's a good project.
It's a good project, very good project.
Okay, so the method that you're using, Thomas, is called the
this is, but after you hear this, you must keep it to yourself. Later, everybody buy, everybody make money.
You have almost 300 people who have to keep it to themselves.
Okay, let's go. So this is called the 10-2-2 method. All right, 10-2-2 is very, I would say it's very safe. Okay. Okay. I can't really. Okay, but if you want to see my primary school handwriting, I'll show you. All right. So 10-2-2. Remember this. All right. Number 1, 10. The 10 stands for 10 years. Okay. Now, there are some areas that are very mature. It's been around for a long time. And for the last 10 years, in that whole area, there has not been a single brand new development. Okay, so that's number 1, 10 years. So 10 years creates pent-up demand.
Right.
A lot of people in the area, maybe they stay in the HDB, their HDB are profitable, and now they are thinking of upgrading to a condo, but there's nothing new in the area. So 10 years creates pent-up demand. Pent-up demand. Okay? Number 2.
Pent-up demand.
Yes. Number 2. 10-2-2, right? The second 2 is 200 meters to the MRT. Now, I cannot explain to you how much Singaporeans love MRT and love integrated developments. I cannot describe.
It's because our cars are so expensive.
Because, it could be anything, right? The cars are expensive, Grab is expensive. So 200 meters to the MRT is going to give you a very good chance of capital appreciation. Now, and all this, remember, all this have to be looked upon in totality. You cannot just plug one point and ignore the 2 points. They have to come hand in hand. The last 2 is 200,000. Okay, so this is called the land size. So the condo must be sitting on a land size of at least 200,000 and more bigger. Right. So this ties in with the valuation effect. When a development is big, frequency of transaction and transaction volume and last transaction, that will always be going up.
So the bigger the project is, it's actually better.
It is better from a capital appreciation standpoint. Is it better for people who like privacy? They want a smaller condo, don't want so many people. Then it's not better, right? But today, we cannot speak on behalf of the emotions of the people who are buying a property, but we only can talk about numbers and facts. So 10-2-2 is one of the safest way to identify a good project. Now I'm going to mention a few names, okay, of properties that have done well.
Sure.
But we're not going to talk about the one that is correlated to the new launch, okay? So, for example, Treasures at Tampines, Affinity at Serangoon, Riverfront Residence, Normanton Park. So these are all condos that have performed very well.
They all meet this criteria.
Actually, they
Not
didn't
all,
even
right?
know. But actually, I tell you, out of these three, got one is the most important.
One project?
No,
Oh,
one of the
criteria is most
yes.
important.
So this and this, right?
Yeah.
You can might or might not do without.
Which one? The first and the second one?
Yes.
So 10 years.
Actually, I tell you from experience,
Mm.
the one that's sitting on the biggest land size. You know why? It correlates actually. Because these condos have the lowest maintenance fee, the most comprehensive condo facilities, because there are a lot of people contributing to the maintenance fee and the sinking fund. And let me tell you something about condo that most people might or might not know. A lot of people think that condo facilities, if got 2,000 people, it's going to be crowded, right?
Yeah.
Let me tell you, the hype to use the facilities actually die down with time.
I mean, definitely.
Yeah, everybody will think, wow, later 2,000 people go swimming at the same time. After the first few years, nobody going to go swimming again.
That's true.
Yeah.
I've not swam in my pool for like the past 5 years.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. And we'll also be okay. And Thomas, sorry. I have a question. Why
Yes.
do new launch prices never have COV, cash over valuation?
Yes, that's a very good question. So as you know, for resale properties, if we meet a resale seller that wants sky-high price, die also only want to sell above the bank valuation. The only way for you to buy the property is if you have this thing called the cash over valuation.
Yeah.
You pay above and beyond what you can borrow. But for new launches, I'm sure everybody has heard, oh, it was so expensive, $3,200 per square feet, Mayor Blue. How is it possible that the banks are able to match the valuation?
Yeah, and they say that the bank accepts whatever prices the developer set that, right?
Yes. So never before in the history of new launch condos have any buyer want to buy and cannot get the loan. Never. They would have the developers would have done all their due diligence and everything would have been done prior, proper. Everybody who buy surely definitely can get a loan. So it's a very it's obvious but not so obvious relationship, right? Obviously, developers, they buy the land from the government. Obviously, they would take a loan from the bank. And obviously, the government and banks would also have relationship. So because of this ecosystem, if the developer don't sell out, they cannot buy land. If the developer don't sell out, they cannot return their loan.
Yeah, that's true.
So all these things come together. It's actually pretty obvious that the valuation have to match every single new launch.
Yeah, and they also have to make sure that there are people who can afford to buy these new launches, right?
Yeah.
That's why it's definitely somewhat affordable.
Yeah, affordable. In fact, right, I can share with you an example of how a $2 million property is more expensive than a $2.5 million property. If I draw out the math for you, you'll be shocked.
Do you want to draw out the math?
Yes. Okay, primary school math, but now listen very closely. This is a very interesting.
That?
This is a true case study.
You just said that.
I just said it.
$2 million
a $2 million property.
It's more expensive than a $2.5 million property.
Yes, it happened. It's a real life case study scenario, and I'm going to draw it to you right now. Okay, look very closely. How is it possible? So on one hand, we have a 2 million, and on the other hand, we have a $2.5 million. Okay. Wow, it's so powerful. The pen decided to stop working for a few seconds. Okay, 2 million versus 2.5 million.
Yes.
Now, and I want to write it down first on record, right? That this is actually more expensive than the 2.5. How does it work? Very simple. Now, a $2.5 million property, if I would have to put a down payment of 25% plus my stamp duty of 4%,
so that's 29%, right?
I am coughing out 725,000. Okay, so OL stands for outlay. The outlay for 2.5 million is $725,000. What is the outlay for a $2 million property?
So 29%.
$2 million property outlay is $580,000.
Yes.
Okay. Now, here is the kicker.
Okay.
This $2 million property is a resale. This 2.5 million is a new launch.
Okay.
So exactly what we talked about just now, regardless of how the developer price, the bank valuation surely match,
Yeah.
and they're sitting side by side. Let me tell you a fun fact.
Okay.
This $2 million property, okay, the valuation is 1.5 million. But they're side by side. Almost equal characteristic. Both are equal distance to MRT, equal almost everything.
Okay.
But just because this resale condo hasn't been transacted frequently, no matter how hard they try, the valuation cannot come up to 2 million. So you see, if 1.5 million, I have to outlay 435. Okay? And if I want to buy the 2 million, how much COV I have to pay?
I can't math, can you?
You see, I only can borrow 75% of 1.5 million.
Yes.
So the difference between 1.5 and 2 million is 500K.
I see. Okay, yes.
So in above and beyond this, what I can borrow, I need to top up
So
another.
let me just pause you right there. So you're saying that the 2 million resale
Yes.
actually has a valuation, right?
Yes.
Of 1.5 million.
Yes.
But I'm buying it for 2 million.
Yes.
So the COV is additional 500K
On top of
435K
Exactly.
outlay that I have to cough up.
Exactly.
So it's more expensive in
Yes.
the sense where my cash outlay is higher.
Absolutely right.
It's actually not 435K, it's 935K.
I thought you just now you said cannot do math. Now you got
I
excited.
mean,
Now you got excited, right? So it's 935,000. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. So this thing happened to my client, and it opened my eyes to see that actually the thing that causes people to make or lose money from property is affordability. Because $2 million versus 2.5, but my clients can afford this, they cannot take out this.
so
Huge
affordability right now, which is
Absolutely
what
right.
makes it more expensive.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so bear that in mind, the golden word of the day, affordability.
Affordability and valuation.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so now the condo purchasing process.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, this is my bread and butter.
Okay, so maybe you can just let's go to step one, right?
Step one.
Getting your finances sorted.
Sure.
Okay. So how do you know your affordability?
Okay.
Thomas, you can share.
Everybody has a magic number, and yours and everybody's magic number is 29. Because in order for you to buy anything, you need a 25% down payment and you need a 4% stamp duty.
Yeah.
So a really simple way to calculate whether or not you can afford without even talking to a banker, without doing an IPA, you take whatever money that you have ready for the purchase. Assuming in this scenario, I got $300,000. I divide it by 0.29, I will know immediately I'm able to buy a $1.034 million.
So if I have $300,000 sitting in my bank,
Yes, that's
okay,
right.
maybe I don't want to spend everything lah.
Yeah.
But I can spend 300K.
That's right.
So I can afford based on this 29%.
Yes. You can afford the down payment.
I can afford the down payment.
Then the second step would be to go to the bank and ask, am I able to, based on my income, am I able to loan 75% of the 1.034 million?
Yes, yes.
This is the fastest way.
Yes, I see. Okay, I mean, alternatively, you could also use the 99.co affordability calculator that you can find on our website. Just toggle, on the menu bar, you'll be able to find it there, because over there you can key in your income and other, expenses that you have, so that we can more or less accurately give you your affordability at the moment. So example over here, so this is what you will see. Yeah, so your loan to value ratio, right? 75%, and also like what's your monthly cash that's available for mortgage and things like that. So this is on a case by case basis, very personal. So do try it out.
Yes. So remember, right? Affordability for property is two-pronged. Down payment and stamp duty and loan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you have one without the other, it will not work.
True. And stamp duty, right?
Yes.
So you have to also calculate, how much stamp duty you have to pay. So I mean, obviously you can just use our calculator if you don't know how to do the calculation yourself. Okay. The monthly installment for new launches. So we have the progressive payments calculator as well. So if you're interested to get a new launch, you kind of know the indicative pricing, or you already know the pricing, you can just plug it into our calculator, and we'll be able to show you exactly what to expect. Yeah. Okay. So obviously step 2, purchasing a condo. What should you do? You should explore your options.
Yeah, of course.
That's very important, right?
Yes. So like the resale versus new launch thing, you got to determine there's a lot of things, right? Exposure to risk, needs, capital appreciation potential, affordability.
Yeah, so you have to just
Mm.
view as many homes.
Have you as many homes?
No,
No,
nobody has time for that.
no, but you should,
The
yeah.
best way to find a
Mm.
condo that matches all the criteria that you need is to use a property portal.
That's right.
This is what technology is for. This is why we built 99.co. So if you want to look for resale condo, just scan the QR code and it'll take you right back to the app. And you can key in if you want it to be near like Woodley MRT, right?
What?
Woodley.
Woodley?
Is it Woodley?
It's Woodley.
Woodley.
Woodley. What is
Woodley.
Woodley MR?
Because I have a friend called Lee.
What? You have a friend called Lee, hence it's Woodley.
Okay. Or you can just plug in the MRT stations that you want to live close by, the number of bedrooms that you want, so there are a lot of things you can key in.
Yeah.
Yeah, to search for the home that you want. So you don't have to view like 1,000 homes.
So you see, this is how, okay, let me tell you another fun fact.
Yeah.
So this process is called supply and demand because we are searching on what's available, and what's available is the supply.
Yeah.
If you go the other route, which is you use the more analytical way, you look at demand and supply. So that is another way you can use 99.co's analytics. But of course, the best would be to talk to an agent like myself.
I mean, if you don't think too much of an
if you
agent,
don't
right?
think too
If you're
much,
not sure,
yeah.
you don't look at it every day.
Mm.
So yeah, it's best to ask an expert.
Mm.
Okay, so if you want to get a new launch, we also have new launches. We feature all the new launches on 99.co as well. So you can just window shop. Window shop from your screen, what's there out there, because you're not always new launches, they launch every other month. In a way, right? This year,
But you know what?
new launches really.
That's why. No, this year have, but the last 2 years, not a lot.
Yeah.
But 2019, 2022 is a lot.
Yeah.
Like the major ones that I mentioned.
So of course, there are still new launches that launched probably like 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Yep.
That are still considered new launch condos.
Yep, that's right.
Okay, so new launches in 2024, okay, we actually have an entire map that you can look at. So what's available in the east, northeast, central, west, and the north.
Wow, look at this. Look at this.
Look at what?
Look at this. In the whole north, you see?
The north region?
Yeah, there's only one. There's only Norwood Grand.
What does it say?
What? It's the
About
10 to 2.
Grand.
It's the 10 to 2 theory. Like there is no new launch over there. So for
Yeah.
Norwood Grand at least 10 years. There's no new launch in Woodlands for 10 years that is actually walk like at least 100 meters to the MRT. None.
Yeah,
Norwood Grand.
true. And the west as well.
Yeah, west. We got
Yeah.
Hillhaven, Lumina Grand, Sora.
It's so big.
Okay, let's put it this way. ECs confirm will sell well. Yeah, Lumina Grand, yeah, they've been around.
Okay. So of course, if you want more information on new launches, just please go to 99.co. So of course, just keep yourself abreast of the news, you know what I mean, of new launches that have sold out, how much are they selling for? So you have some sort of you feel the ground, right? What's happening.
Yeah. I think it's important, right? That they use the 99.co analytic tools, right? Is that the analytic tools, right? Because that is it's faster than if you wait for it to come out on the news. By the time you see it on the news, the reporters have seen it, talked about it, 10,000 people have seen it, then it's a bit too late. So you want to see the statistics before that.
Yeah, but I mean, like, not everybody knows how to do their own homework, right? So
that's why.
Yeah, I mean, you can ask us. It's free advice. You know what I mean? You don't pay anything upfront. So really, ask an expert. Okay, so just some new launches to entice you. Not really. All right, next. So definitely step 3, right? If you are looking at new launches, visit show flats. Get to know, what are you looking at?
But why do you use the Tembusu Grand picture?
I don't know. I think because we took it ourselves.
So
we can use our own picture. Okay, so if you want to, you're interested in any new launch projects at the moment, please book your unit. You can book it through us. So basically, you just scan to browse all the new launch projects, and we'll be able to send you all the information that you need for the new launch projects as well. Okay, step 4. So this is
It's for resale.
Condo resale, right?
It's for
Yeah,
resale.
condo
A
resale.
letter of
So you need
offer.
to give the letter of offer.
Mhm.
So present a copy of the OTP. So
Wait, you gotta say properly.
present.
OTP got two, like got offer to purchase and option to purchase.
Ah,
Do you know the difference?
I know. I know that. Okay, so you have to present a copy of your option to purchase
Yeah.
and finalize your loan
Yes.
with your bank, and they will issue a letter of offer.
That's right. LO, that's right.
Yes, LO. And of course, you have to hire a solicitor to act for the purchase and everything else. Okay, so the
S&P is for new launches.
S&P is for new launches. Yeah, S&P is for new launches. So for new launches, the developer will deliver an S&P to the buyer within 2 weeks after issuing the OTP. So buyers, you have to bear in mind to exercise the S&P and OTP within 3 weeks. Pay the 15% exercise fee, right?
Right.
And also which is the remainder of the down payment.
Correct.
So at the point of signing the S&P, or pay the BSD.
That's right.
And ABSD if you're a foreigner.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? Yeah. So on the S&P within 2 weeks of signing it. Okay, so step 6. I think this is the obvious one. You start paying.
Not for new launch.
Yeah, not for new launch.
New launch, you collect a set of documents.
Yes. Correct. Okay, so make sure that okay, so the developer will have to hit certain milestones, right?
Yes.
The construction,
Yes.
then you have to kind of make payment.
Yes, that's right. So the technicality of it is there's 8 milestones. The bank would disperse the loan according to the milestones. You start paying mortgage on the part of the loan that has been dispersed.
Okay, so some key considerations for HDB upgraders. So make sure that have your HDB, if you are living the BTO, right? You need to make sure that you've hit the 5-year MOP. Do you have any outstanding loans? Also take a look at your total debt servicing ratio.
Yep.
Yeah. Any additional buyer stamp duty, and also the loan to value that you can.
So the government has made it very simple. This 5 steps now become 1 step only. HFE. So because if you haven't finished your MOP, it will not go through. They will not, your intent to sell, sorry, the intent to sell, they will not let you go through.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that the most important thing is to find out, right? How much would upgrading cost you?
Yes.
Okay. And also the down payment, the stamp duty, the fees,
Yes.
the property taxes. These are
Yes.
all hidden costs that people don't think about so much.
Absolutely right. Yes.
Yeah. So you definitely have to consider these things as well as in terms of your affordability.
That's right.
Word of the day. Okay. So
there's actually 9. There's actually 9.
Yeah.
So if you're taking notes, right, there's 9. I'm gonna say it out loud right now.
Okay.
Bank interest.
Yeah.
CPF accrued interest, property tax, maintenance fee, legal fees, agent fees, stamp duty, renovation, and insurance. There is no more and no less than 9. This is the full cost that you want to put into your spreadsheet if you have one. Yeah.
Okay, and also definitely you need to consider, sorry. You have to consider your exit strategy.
Yes.
Right, when you purchase a new place. Yeah. So what's your holding power?
Yes.
Also, right?
Yeah.
Whether the purchase the apartment or the unit that you buy.
Yes.
What's your plan for it?
Yes.
You need to meet your own needs, right? We are technically summarizing.
Yeah. Why don't I show you using exit strategy to show you another primary school drawing image for you to understand the
I think we
concept.
have a few more minutes.
Okay. Now look very closely. Now, you just now the stack analysis, right? Do you have that? Let's look at one that is real numbers that these people could potentially make X amount of
So
money.
this is important, right? Because everybody wants to know that they have an option to exit.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at resale project.
The very successful one.
Okay, project A.
Yeah.
Let's look at that. So, yeah. So
Okay,
stack analysis for
stack
resale project
analysis,
A.
right? Okay, so I see there is this person. Let's talk about this one. 0720. Yep. I'll be able to, but we didn't say the name of the condo.
Yeah, we didn't say the name.
Okay, so now
Maybe you can write it here.
I'll write it here, right?
See this.
So this person bought the property at $581,000. Okay, let me just restart. $581,000. And this person is now able to sell the property at $833,000. $833,000, right? This is how you calculate your exit strategy and whether or not it's feasible, right? So very simple calculation would dictate to buy 581,000, I need to cough out an outlay of $168,000. The pen decided to be laggy. $168,490, right?
So this is the cash outlay.
This is the cash outlay.
Okay.
And buying the property at $581,000 would mean I took an outstanding loan of $435,750. So I'm just going to round it up, 436K, right? So today, if I sell my property at $833,000, minus away my outstanding loan of $436,000. I mean, minus the agent fee, whatever, not like minus another 10,000.
Okay.
Miscellaneous, so on and so forth. You started this whole thing at $168,490 and you're ending with $387,000 after deducting all the miscellaneous fee. So this is an example of capital appreciation and exit strategy and why you should always.
So just to reiterate, right? So
Yes.
when this person
Yes.
bought their unit at 581K,
Yes.
they had a cash outlay of 168K about there, right?
Yes.
With a loan of 436K.
Absolutely right.
Okay. And then they sold it at 833K.
That's right.
And after selling it, they got
deduct,
cash, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
cash, CPF, whatever it is.
They got back cash of 387K.
Yes, approximately, plus minus, depend. I mean, I'm just giving an assumption. This person never really renovated the house. They bought brand new, developer gave them the finishings. All they did was lighting and curtains. Then
So this is an example of a good exit strategy, right?
Yes, so you grow your 168 to 387 just by waiting for the development to complete.
Okay. All right, so definitely you need to think about your future planning. You know, what do you want to do? You know, why are you upgrading, right? Why are you buying a new flat? I think that's very important. Are you looking at your personal needs, or are you looking at capital appreciation? Okay, so
Gonna answer questions. Is there any FAQ?
yeah, so maybe we can
do I have
just go into property value first. You know, what is I think you need to also know how to sell your flat, right? What to sell your flat at.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So what is your property valuation? So as mentioned at the start, 99.co, we have a property X value tool that is close to 98% accuracy. So this is just take a look. You can just download the app and look for property value. Just key in your postal code and your unit number, and you'll be able to find out what is your estimated sale value, and you can actually also see your estimated rental value. So over here, right, for example, this flat over here is the estimated sale value is 1.6 million.
1.6 million.
Yeah. Okay. And what's the potential gain? The potential gain is actually up to 800K. So you know, by using our property value tool, you'll be able to see these things, and you'll also be able to see your rental value, because maybe you don't want to sell your flat. Right? Maybe you want to go overseas to live for a while. Maybe you want to buy a second property and you don't have a need to actually sell your place, so you can rent it out. So we do offer an estimated rental value as well, which I don't think other platforms actually offer that. Just saying. So
Just saying.
just saying.
Just saying.
You'll also be able to see the recently sold properties nearby. Okay. So over here, you know, you can do it within a minute. All you need to do is key in your postal code and your unit number. So for new users, you don't have a 99.co app, just scan on the left QR code to download the app, or the right one if you already have the app. Just scan, you go straight to the property value tool to find out your home value.
And you're also saying that this is 98% accurate,
Yes,
which means if I want to rent out my house or I want to sell my house and I follow the pricing, the 99.co advised pricing, I should be able to sell it easily.
Yeah, I mean, more or less.
More or less,
It depends on market demand and supply.
Oh, yeah,
definitely.
that's right.
Okay, overview of the HDB resale process. We're just gonna really touch and go here. So if you currently own a HDB, you have to take note of the entire HDB resale process to know how long it takes. So as you can tell, it's not something that's immediate,
Yeah.
right, Thomas?
It's not immediate, man.
It's not immediate. You have to register your intent to sell, and also the buyer has to apply for HFE. So if you have an interested buyer and he or she has not applied for their HFE, it will take some time. You also have to market your property on property portal
Like
like
99.co.
99.co. So you get an agent to list it for you.
Mm.
And also you have to negotiate with your buyer, and then once you agree on the price, you have to submit, the buyer has to submit the request for valuation to HDB, and the OTP will be exercised once HDB gets back with the value. And then seller, you submit your resale application to HDB, and the handover will happen about 8 weeks from the date of acceptance by HDB. So actually, if you want more information, just ask us a question and we will help you through the process as well. So after that, HDB computes financials and does technical inspection, endorse the form and undertaking with HDB, HDB resale confirmation, and completion appointment. You have to attend it, both the buyer and the seller. This is step 8, right? So after that, you have to submit your cashier's check. Your cashier's check will be available within 2 days. Okay, and the CPF refunds is about 2 weeks.
Total of 9 steps.
There are a lot of steps.
Yeah. Actually, it could be simplified to just 1 step.
Apply the HIV.
I know. I'll just get a competent agent.
Yeah, then you don't have to think so much.
You don't have to think so much, yeah.
A competent agent.
Yes.
Okay, so of course, we've touched on like the upcoming new launches. Okay, so there are some new launches that are coming up. Just window shop. Window shop
yes.
on 99.co first. Before you head down to take a look.
Why is it better to window shop on the 99.co page? Like what kind of information are you giving them that they
Let's just say that we have the full data, you know what I mean, of all the new launches. Yeah, so you don't have to look further. We have the indicative price, we have percentage sold, we have even layouts.
On the app or the browser? On the app itself?
On the browser.
On the browser, okay. Yes. Okay.
You also you can look at the stack analysis as well over there. Yes. So it's actually very informative.
Yes.
Okay. So obviously, do shoot your questions to us. So I think my colleague will share the link again for you to shoot your questions. If you have anything, we can.
Why can't they ask the question? Why do they have to shoot the question?
I mean, if you have any questions, please raise your hands. Oh, do we have a question? Oh, okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
How, like, you're gonna ask me, or like, do I read it? Justin Lau.
Okay.
How do we see? Like, is he going to type it out? Or?
You can type it out. Type out the question. Did he type out the question?
Justin, could you unmute your microphone? Or do I press this button? Is there something you can control? Actually, Justin, you can unmute yourself and then you can just say something.
He might not be able to unmute. He has to type it in.
Oh, Justin got to type it in. Is that you, Justin? Yes, okay. Eileen Lee has a question. How do we receive the question? We can't receive the questions. Remember the 10-2-2. Highest probability of capital appreciation, but no guarantee. Nobody can guarantee anything.
Definitely your personal needs as well. Right?
What's your view on the Chuan Park?
Okay.
Hello. I would like a view on Chuan Park.
I stay around the area, very familiar. Come, what's your question? Okay, I don't want to say this, but it's been asked. Well, I gotta say that Chuan Park has the 10-2 advantage. In fact,
Mm.
Chuan Park is 100 meters from the MRT.
Yeah.
So in the last 10 years, there hasn't been a brand new condo in that
Mm.
area. And it's the land size, if I'm not wrong, is 400,000 square feet.
So it's twice.
It's twice.
The
It's
criteria.
twice the criteria. And we've got 5 schools, primary schools and international schools.
So I think that should answer your question.
Yeah, so but those are facts, lah.
Yeah,
Those are
those are
facts. Opinion, because we're on 99.co, I don't want to see like I'm selling something, but those are the facts. Yeah, but Chuan Park meets 10-2 and more. That's what I can say.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about Chuan Park. Very excited.
I can't tell.
You can't. I gotta tell you, right, I'm very excited about Chuan Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Pangho?
Pangho,
Okay, Pangho, you have a question.
how does Pangho unmute and ask?
Can you unmute yourself to ask your question?
Chio Pangho.
Yes.
Hello.
Hi. So,
Hi,
what's your question?
Yeah, it's just that recently I talked to a few agents, right? Then they are very into actually selling the new launch instead of resell lah. They not really want to even discuss about resell. I just not sure why is it like that lah.
Okay.
And
So
is
let
it
me
really
repeat
that?
the question.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, so Pangho's question is
Mm.
he has spoken to several agents.
Yes.
And it seems like a lot of them are pushing new launches instead
Yes.
of resale, and he wonders why.
Okay, I'm going to be very, very honest here. Are you guys ready for the answer?
Of course, we have
Okay.
to be.
To be very these are facts. These are not my opinion.
Okay.
Number one, the cost
Mm.
of being an agent has gone up significantly, ridiculously high.
Okay.
And if an agent were to serve a buyer on the resale market, to be honest, it's a lot of work. Arrangement,
yeah.
calling, viewing, and that's just one buyer. What if this agent needs to hold hands with 10, 20 different buyers to do this, right? It's hard to cope. Cost is high, and it is definitely easier to bring a buyer to buy something that's brand new. It's a lot
I
easier.
see.
Okay. Is it more profitable? Is another question, because you don't know how much the resale agents are paying. They could be paying a lot. I mean, I don't know, right?
But if you
So
don't
case
look
by
at
case.
it from an agent's point of view,
Yes.
you know what I mean, from an objective point of view, let's say they're very genuine about,
Mm.
you know, like giving him the best advice, right?
Oh,
What-
yes.
What we should get, should you get a new launch or resale, and they're actually advising new launches. Why is
Yes.
that so?
Because, okay, so it's the same concept, right?
Mm.
If today you want to consider a resale property,
Yeah.
you want to be looking at how much profits you're giving to the previous owner.
Mm.
And buying a new launch that has 10-2 positions you to be the first owner to capitalize on the profits.
So there are valid reasons.
There are
as
valid
well.
reasons. And to be honest,
Mm.
these are facts also.
Mm.
If I sell a new launch to a customer and the customer is in the green and make profit,
Mm.
chances are 3 to 4 years down the road, he's going to call me to sell. And I've got a recurring business right there. So everything wins, actually. It's for the longevity of the business as well.
Okay. I mean, okay, so that's the agent's point of view.
Yes.
Okay, I hope that answers your question. Okay, we have another question.
Adrian, let's go, Adrian.
Okay. Hi, Adrian. Yeah, he unmuted just now. Okay,
Maybe he clicked too fast. He double click, unmute, and mute, unmute, and mute.
that happens to me.
Hello, hi.
Hi.
Yeah, just to check, all things equal, which one will you recommend? A resale 3-bedroom or a new launch 1 or 2-bedroom?
So let me just repeat the question. So Adrian was asking if what would you recommend, a resale 3-bedder
Yes.
or a new launch 1 or 2-bedder?
That's a very good question.
Mm.
Point number one, 3-bedroom and more are usually more profitable. That's point number one.
Mm.
Point number two, you need to do a stack analysis to find out exactly how much profits are you giving to the resale 3-bedroom seller.
Mm.
Point number two. Point number three, you want to find out within that stack of the 3-bedroom that you want to buy, how many of them are still first owner versus second or third owner? Because this opens you up to that exposure to risk.
Yeah.
That's point number 3. Point number 4 is understanding as a buyer, the moment you buy, you are in an immediate deficit. And with regards to the resale 3-bedroom condo that you're buying, you have no idea what could be the underlying issue. Like I said, water leaking, owners go and repaint the house,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. So renovations, rectification, remedy works could be very costly.
Okay. So there are some factors to consider.
That are some
lah.
of the factors to consider.
So let's say they are all equal factors, like there's no underlying issues. You know what I mean? I think
And stack analysis, no?
use the stack analysis.
Yeah, exposure to risk.
So you have to find out, you know, the recent transactions around your neighbors, basically your future neighbors, right? Just to see if there are actually people who have bought before. Are you entering, right? This is the one we touched.
Not just are you entering, but how many have entered?
Okay.
How many are
have
the
entered?
second,
Yeah.
third versus the first? Yes. So of course, to be very fair, a 1 and 2 bedroom new launch, even if it's new launch, it will not be as profitable as a 3 and 4 bedroom. Because profits are two-pronged. PSF versus size. The bigger your size, the increase in PSF, you make more profits. Yes. So that's what I can say.
Justin sending the question.
Oh yeah, Justin.
Say, hi Thomas, what do you think of Norwood Grant having hit 84% sold on launch day? Do you feel it will do well 3 years later?
Okay, am I sharing facts or opinion? Because whatever I say right now is going to be opinion. Because, okay, firstly, I need to make a disclaimer. I am not a fortune teller. But what I can say is Norwood Grant meets 1022 criteria. And if you do a thorough search, like absolutely thorough search, properties that meet the 1022 requirement, they are at least 98% having ridiculous amount of capital appreciation.
I see. I mean, that's just based on track record, correct?
Based on track record, yeah. We cannot predict the future.
Yeah.
That's what we can say.
So another question that was sent.
Oh, we have another question. Okay.
Yeah.
We have a lot of questions. Okay.
And nobody asked me what happened.
Okay, so
By Darren.
okay,
Darren?
yes.
May I check if resale EC like £100 are still profitable for resale owner?
Oh, as in, you
Repeat the question
Yeah,
again.
sure.
So someone's asking if the resale EC £100.
100.
It's called £100.
Woodley, is it Woodley?
It's not. Okay, £100 is still profitable for resale owner. Also, I think this person is probably a resale owner.
No, I think this person is thinking of buying £100.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, firstly, this is a fact. £100 is extremely hot stock. Any listing that come out will just go. Any listing that come out will just go. Okay, and it's high in demand, easy to sell. Like people just want to buy it.
Where is £100?
I don't know how to tell. Near Hougang there.
Near Hougang.
Yeah. Not Woodley.
Hey.
So £100 is okay. So if you are considering £100 as a resale owner, you need to do the same reverse way of thinking. How much profits am I giving to the first owner? And do you mind giving this amount of profits, or would you want to position yourself as the first and collect this profit from someone else?
Yeah.
But £100 extremely high in demand.
Okay.
One last question from Agnes.
Okay.
Will rental yield be better for resale or new launch?
Oh, that's a very good question.
So the question is, would rental yield be better for resale or new launch condo?
Can I still draw?
Yeah.
I draw. This is very important to understand. Now, most landlords determine how much rental they want to collect based on this one word only. And this one word is called mortgage. So, assuming you buy brand new at 1 million and you buy a resale at 1.3 million because this person would want to sell to you at a profit, right? So if you buy a $1 million property and taking this amount of 70, you will take a 750,000 loan, correct? When you buy a $1.3 million property, you will take a $975,000 loan. So it is quite needless to say, which mortgage will be higher.
Ah,
So if you are trying to get a rental return based on a 975,000 loan versus a 750,000 loan, your yield will not be as good as the people who bought it here. And you have to understand it ties up with this last, the word called the last transacted. Okay? Because if all the people who bought at 1 million who are trying to cover a mortgage of 750,000, if they all transact based on what they expect based on this, then who is going to pay you just because you bought it at 1 So this should answer your question as to, is rental yield higher or
for
lower
new launch
for new launch
or resale.
But can I make another point?
Sure.
Resale property is very misleading because in order for rental yield to be high, your purchase price needs to be low. And this is something that not many people see. One of the main reasons why purchase price is low is because the property inherently has some issue. Hard to sell, our neighbors are very terrible, maintenance sucks, security is bad, all that kind of stuff, or the property is very old.
So you have to do your homework.
Yes, it needs to be a thorough research.
So, I mean, obviously, if you have more, you need personalized advice, just scan the QR code and, get free consultation from us. You definitely should consult an expert. That would be my personal take as well. I mean, I was also on the hunt for a home and I couldn't have been able to do it without an expert. Yeah. All right, thank you. We've come to the end of our webinar. Thank you so much for staying through. I mean, we are overrun, but so many of you stayed past 9. It's already 9:20. Oh my. Okay, so have a good night, everybody. So if you have more questions, feel free to drop it into the link and we will get back to you via email. Good night. And thanks, Thomas, as well.
Woodley.
Hey.
So we just close the thing, is it? Did we just close the thing?